Hello, Shaker Heights varsity softball fans, and welcome now into the West Side Grounds Field here at the Ripken Experience in South Carolina. Shaker Heights taking on the Potomac School Panthers, another tough squad that Shaker Heights softball will have to face once again. Yesterday it was Shaker Heights playing the state runner-up of Wisconsin. Today, the four-time state runner-up for Virginia. The Potomac School Panthers have lost consistently in that championship game, but they have proven why they should be in that championship game countless times over again those past 4 years. It's going to be another challenge for Scout Harvey, who is going to be your starting pitcher once again today. She's out here number 34 in the Red Raiders black jerseys here today. They are going to be your home team, however, and over the Potomac School batting first is going to be your away team in the all-white uniforms. Shaker Heights yesterday lost 15-0. It was a rough look, but Shaker Heights knows that this is still a game they can compete in today, especially since the Potomac School had just competed right here only a couple moments ago. Their game had started at, I believe, about 1:30, and they played that game. I believe they did win, but now here they are. Maybe Shaker Heights will be able to get a little bit of a tired team out here on the field. But thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the play-by-play call here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Please do enjoy. Shaker Heights competing in their second scrimmage here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's going to be another tough one for them, again, especially when you're up against another state runner-up. And luckily, they're not having to deal with any champions of any states, but it just doesn't seem to get much easier for Shaker Heights. So here today, still with Scout Harvey on the mound, their best bet at winning one of these games, out there on the mound once again. And we'll see how far she goes this time around. Yesterday, the reason as to why Marissa Milgram came in was the fact that she was just facing a little bit of fatigue. So hopefully, even after the day in which she had just pitched, hopefully today she can get a couple more innings out. And we will see how this one turns out for Shaker Heights. Going to be a challenge, and everyone here knows it. Shaker Heights' head coach, Tori Rosen, even knew it, but she said to this team that this is going to be another learning experience, and Scout Harvey starts it off with a ground out there on the bump. I suppose not the bump. Here in softball, you don't have an elevated mound, but you get what I'm trying to say. So good start. One pitch, one out for Harvey. Just switched over from Hathaway Brown. They don't have a softball team, and she wanted to continue playing high school ball, and that one's in there for strike one on the new batter. Harvey yesterday with a lot of good pitches. It was just too hittable for the Wisconsin squad. This one fouled off to the right side of the assistant coaches. And so, yeah, Shaker Heights off to a solid start with the quick pitches, and now an 0-2 count here to the batter, Spiegel. And here's the next offering. This one cut on. This is going to be lined into right. It'll get down right in front of Marissa Milgram. She misplays it. It'll get right past her and up to the wall. She's going to need to throw this one in quickly. It's going to be a triple early on for Spiegel. And Shaker Heights already in a little bit of a pickle. That one just got by Milgram out there in right. Over at center today, we're going to have Eleanor Miller back in her spot. Harper Thornton back in left field. The infield today going to look like Anderson, Skylar James, Emerson Miller, and Amelia Chevreau back in at third. Handling the duties behind home plate once again going to be Juliana Gentili. Thank you very much for joining. Vaughn Ullum on the call. Runner on third here with one away here in the top of the first. Next offering is going to catch the upper half of the zone. Good call from the umpire, not letting that one slip on by. Keep in mind, scoreboard out there in left center, not going to be too accurate. It's that kind where you have to put up the numbers onto the scoreboard to have it be right, like something you would see out of Wrigley Field in their old-timey scoreboard. That little original look, but here it seems at the West Side Grounds they're not changing up the scoreboard at all. So we're just going to have to tell you straight up. Here at an 0-2 count to Vaughn, the batter. Left-handed hitter against right-handed pitcher. And here's the offering from Harvey. This one upstairs, try to get her with some high cheese, and that's actually something Shaker's offense really struggled with in yesterday's game. Hopefully that's not going to be a consistent thing with the offense. They swung at a lot of that high stuff. Here, Potomac School doing better with it. This one up high for ball 2. 2 and 2 were evened up. And also, excuse if the camera's shaking a little. Can't control it. It's just a bit of the wind out here in Myrtle Beach. However, other than that, perfect conditions. Not a cloud in the sky. This next offering sent down the third base line. It looks like it got a piece of Spiegel over there at third. Went off the shin, but it looks like she'll be okay. Harvey with that one up to 10 pitches. Through the very first 10, 7 were strikes, but 3 balls to Vaughn. And so here on the full count, this one lined in the left. That's going to get by Thornton. She's got to run all the way to the wall. This time it's going to be Vaughn rounding first, making her way to second, and now she's going all the way for third, and she's going to be in, going for the inside the Parker, and it looks like the throw from Chevreau too late, and it's going to be a 2-run inside the park home run for Vaughn. 1-for-1 on the day, of course. With the knock like that, just got past Harper Thornton, and they're telling Thornton, now you got to play a little bit further. She came back in on the outfield, but now she's backing up a little after the inside the Parker. They technically rule it here on Game Changer a single, and it was just able to slip on past Thornton, and that's what allowed it to be those extra bases that resulted in what ended up being 2 runs for the Panthers. So already a bit of a rough start for Shaker Heights softball, but keep in mind this is what we were hearing from head coach Rosen, was the fact that Shaker Heights here needs to take this in as a learning experience. Yes, they're going to try and win. Yes, they're going to, of course, not want to lose a game, but at the same time, knowing that you're going to come in here and take on one of the best at the high school level, you want to come in and tell your team that this is going to be a learning experience and going to be an experience in which you just have to be confident in your players, even though Shaker Heights already with 1 error to their name. Couple of mistakes from there in the outfield. Here, a third base throw from Chevreau. That one on the money, and there's going to be a ground out number 2 for the Potomac offense. So Shaker Heights' infield actually coming in, trying to keep Scout Harvey amped up. Already 2 runs against her, but it looks like she's trying to keep in high spirits as well. Harvey this time going to be up to pitch number 15 on the next offering. Here in the top of the first, now 2 away, no runners on. This pitch upstairs, Gentili having to rise up to her feet in order to make that one not sail over the head and maybe into the chest of the umpire behind her. Next offering, this one down low. This one going to be lined right into the glove, maybe in a little bit of foul territory, into the glove of Anderson. She will make the grab, and that will move Potomac in the lead by 2, but it'll take us into the bottom of the first. Shaker Heights' offense with an opportunity to try and get this one back, but right now they have 2 runs to make up early. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. Shaker Heights going to be starting off with Thornton, Chevreau, and Anderson, your due-up lineup. Shaker Heights down 2 as we begin the bottom of inning number 1. Shaker Heights already down 2 off of 2 base knocks from the Potomac School Panthers. Out there just 3 miles away from Washington, D.C., out there in Virginia. Shaker Heights down 2 after 2 hits and 1 defensive error on Shaker's part. Both the right and left fielders had some struggles. Thornton out in left, Marissa Milgram out in right, but it's going to be Thornton starting things off on the offensive side of things. Down 2-0, first pitch going to be in there. Bit of a late call from the umpire, but he punches his fist, showing strike number 1 on Thornton. Thornton, first time through the order yesterday, was the one batter to not strike out. It was 8 strikeouts in a row, I believe, for Schultz, the pitcher in yesterday's game. Laconia of Wisconsin, the high school that Shaker Heights had to play yesterday. Now here's the next offering, and a swing and a miss, this time from Thornton. The pitcher out there, Stallmer, number 12, here today. A taller pitcher, and here, did she go? They say she did not go, as the umpire checks into the infield umpire, and the man along the first baseline says she did not go. That works it even. 2-2 now your count. And here's the offering. This one called in there. Strike 3 on Thornton. Bit of a rough call. Looked a little bit down low, maybe a little outside, but the umpire sees it best, right? And so with that, it's going to be Amelia Chevreau taking her spot as well in the right-handed batter's box. She'll get the signal from head coach Tori Rosen. And now here's the pitch. Chevreau pops this one up. This is good for the third baseman, and indeed the catch is made. Third baseman to third baseman, just a bit of an unlucky piece of contact that time. And they'll end up with number 4 over there at third. So Shaker Heights already with a good AB and good contact, so we'll see what the 3-hole Reagan Anderson is able to do here. Left-handed hitter against right-handed pitcher. That's the matchup you want to see. And here's the first pitch. Anderson cuts through for strike 1. Shaker Heights looking for their first hit. It looks like also on the game changer, they're moving things instead for Potomac. It's going to be only 1 hit with 2 runs, while Shaker Heights on the other side had 2 defensive errors. And that makes sense with the 2 difficulties out in right field and left field. Here, Reagan Anderson stands forward, maybe faking bunt. Here's the offering. This one popped up into the netting just above the backstop behind home plate. And so with that, we're going to see how Anderson decides to play in this number 27 on the back of her jersey. We will see how this one shapes up. Here's the next pitch from Stallman, and this one fouled off to the left side. Or excuse me, Stallmer, your pitcher. But yeah, so far Harvey with 18 pitches on the defensive side. Doesn't look like Stallmer is going to get to that number here. Anderson just barely held up. And in doing so, we'll live to see another pitch. This being the 3rd batter that Stallmer has faced. Harvey faced 5 in that inning. Here, a bit of a half-hearted swing, but it'll get its way over to shortstop, and the throw on the money to the first baseman, number 15. And that's Vaughn, the one that hit that inside the park home run. And we will see if that kind of hitting can get moving even further in the 2nd inning for the Potomac School Panthers. We'll see what happens as Harvey set to take the mound once again here in inning number 2. Thank you very much for joining us here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We'll be right back. the Potomac school back up to bat. And here, first pitch from Harvey in there for strike one. Shaker Heights down 2-0. Though Harvey has been pitching well, except for those 2 hits, or I suppose 1 and 2 defensive errors, it's kept rather solid. But as I say, this is a little bit of a commentator jinx. This one lined in the right. Milgram handled it cleanly, and so there, Claire will get the leadoff base knock to open up the top half of the second inning. Shaker Heights and their pitcher already up to 20 pitches on the afternoon game. And the next pitch going to be up high. Gentili on the money, a little bit over to the right. Emerson Miller unable to apply the tag in time. Burrell took that one up high as well. So it's going to be a 1-0 count with Claire advancing 1 base further. 60 feet up, she moves to second. Harvey can't let it bother her here. Another pitch upstairs. Claire was thinking about continuing the movement over to third, but she held off. Here, Harvey now up to 22 pitches. Of the 22 pitches, 15 of them hitting the zone. Only 7 not hitting the zone. This is going to be strike number 16 as this one fouled back into the netting behind home plate. Shaker Heights, a squad that did, as we said, struggle in the last scrimmage, but they've won their only scrimmage back home against Firestone, actually a team that they're going to be playing during the regular season as well. But Shaker Heights, though they did struggle a little bit throughout the regular season, they held their own against the big-time opponent of Cleveland Heights, their big-time rival in the GCC. This pitch up high, it's going to draw the walk here for Burrell. 5-pitch walk will bring her to first, and so runners at first and second. Claire at second, Burrell over at first. So RBI opportunity still alive here for Anderson, number 8, and she's showing bunt, but now backs up as Harvey reconsiders the pitch, and now here it comes. That one off, but Chevreau wasn't ready for the throw to come her way, wasn't set for the steal. It goes as a double steal. Claire moves 60 feet up to third. Burrell first to second. And so 2 now in scoring position for Anderson. Still nobody out. That pitch in there for strike 1. Our count goes even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Potomac up by 2. Maybe with a knock here, they can double their lead. But here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss from Anderson. That's always a confidence builder. No matter if it's baseball or if it's softball, a swing and a miss will always help out that confidence. And right now, Harvey needs it with the 2 runners on and nobody out. This one's popped up. That one's going to be over your camera and just to the side of the pond behind the right first base foul line. Harvey now set for another 1-2 dealing. This one down low. Chevreau checks. Now the throw on to first. It's going to be in time. They hold both runners at second and third. Just the luck of the draw as that one rolled over to Chevreau. Chevreau, a little celebration with Emerson Miller, goes back into position as now the next batter up as Anderson is retired on the ground out. That's a big time out for Harvey. Can always help you out. Getting that first out, even with the runners in scoring position, it can just help you mentally as a pitcher. Again, whether it's softball, whether it's baseball, it's just how it goes. So Harvey now past the 30-pitch mark here in inning number 2. Abby Wolf, your next batter. This pitch outside for ball 2. And again, Burrell over at second, Claire at third. 1 away here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina's Ripken Experience West Side grounds. I know that's a lot to take in, but basically the field is a little funky looking. And we'll tell you about that later. This one chopped foul down the first baseline. Anderson was there to scoop it up, but even if it had remained fair, Wolf would have bolted past Anderson before she could have applied the tag. And so luckily that one just rolled a bit further to the right of the first baseline. So here Harvey still alive in the at-bat with a 2-1 count to Abby Wolf. Here's the next pitch. This one fouled off to the left side, and suddenly like that, it's evened up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. A strikeout here would really, really help out with the 2 runners in scoring position. A ground out can be okay, but you might sacrifice a run in doing so. So here comes a 2-2 pitch, pitch number 35 for Scout Harvey. Number 34 here today, 17 on the red jerseys, but with the all-black look, 34. Here's the deal, and that one in there. Strike 3 called on Wolf. And again, that's just what Harvey needed. And so with 2 runners on, back-to-back outs, and this one's still held at 2-0. Potomac still in the lead, but of course Harvey looking to keep the score where it is, and out comes the pitcher for the other side. Potomac's pitcher takes strike 1 in there, down low. Two away, 2 in scoring position for Stallmer, looking for a big-time RBI opportunity to give life to the offense once again, and this one lined through. Will it get past Miller's glove? Indeed it will. Harper Thornton unable to handle it, but now he gets the throw in, and it gets past Chevreau. It'll hit off of the third base coach, so luckily the runner will not advance from third, though Burrell might have had it if she had taken the chance to move that extra 60 feet, but in doing all that movement, it's actually going to move Stallmer up to second. So it's going to go as a single, but made the advancement on the throw in. And so here's Harvey on the 2-out first pitch deal. That one in there, a bit inside, but number 4 will take it all the way. Number 4, 0 for 1 on the day. And there, half-hearted swing and a miss. Just a bit of a slower swing that time. I'll have his first name here for number 4, so I'm just going to call her Anna. I know that's not exactly a professional thing to do. Here, a grounder down the first baseline. Anderson there, going to apply the tag, and there is out number 3 here in the top half of the second inning. So Shaker Heights did allow one to come through, but with the way they were in a little bit of a pickle, runner on second and third with nobody out, and only allowing 1 run, that's perfectly okay from their side. Keep in mind, 4 straight state runner-up, the Potomac School. It's going to be a tough matchup for Shaker Heights, so the big-time topic of conversation now is, can they get the offense going? Again, only a couple hits for them in yesterday's game, so now this is when, especially with the good pitching performance, this is when you need your offense to come through. We'll see if they can get something on the board when we come back for the bottom of the second inning. Eleanor Miller in now. Shaker Heights went down 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the first inning, but here Shaker Heights needing to answer back for the 3 hits of Potomac School. They're only down 3, very much still in this game, as Scout Harvey got herself in a little bit of a defensive pickle in the top half of the inning. She worked out of it with only giving up 1 run, and so now the offense with a little bit of momentum needs to come through here. Miller going to be your leadoff person here in the second. A liner into the glove, a diving play that time by the shortstop, and you just kind of have to tip your cap to. That was a good piece of hitting from Miller. With a smile on her face, she will get a little bit of appreciation from the Shaker Heights squad, and again, you just got to tip your cap and understand that you were just beat, and that's okay sometimes, even though it may not be too fun. So here, Gentili digs in, takes strike one on the outside half. Gentili, the catcher in today's game, hasn't let much get past her early on. This one popped up. It looks like it's going to go over and right over my head out here in foul territory. Gentili, number 33, doing very well at the defensive duties. So Gentili here's trying to stay alive on the 0-2 count, but the pitch up high, and again, Shaker Heights continuing to swing at the upstairs stuff. And this time it's going to result in a strikeout for the pitcher, Stallmer. So it is better, however, the strikeout numbers for Shaker Heights. Only 2 so far, just over halfway through the order. Gentili, number 5. Here's Scout Harvey, the pitcher of today's game for Shaker, in there at the right-handed batter's box. Head coach Rosen over there at third, giving the signal, and now this pitch taken down low for ball 2. Harvey getting her first crack at things. Harvey, I believe, also got a base knock in yesterday's game. She has been lethal on both sides of the ball, and here is a liner into right, and an underhand catch for the right fielder out there in white, and unfortunately 2 good pieces of hitting from Shaker Heights. They just haven't been able to find the gap, and here, as you can see, a little bit of appreciation there from head coach Tori Rosen. So Shaker Heights making better contact here today. They just got to find the gaps, and that's just something that you got to wait for to come your way. And so Shaker Heights now going to return back on defense. Scout Harvey will return, and hopefully with 2 runs in the first inning, 1 in the second, maybe she can work 1 more run down and have a 0 put up on the top half of inning number 3. We'll see when we come back. Vaughn Ullum on the call from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Harvey back out there as your starting pitcher. Right now, Shaker has gone down 1-2-3 in the first 2 innings, but on the other side, the Potomac School Varsity Panthers currently with 3 runs to their name, and this one catches the outside half of the plate. It'll go for strike 1. Scout Harvey for the first 2 innings, 38 pitches, 26 of which were strikes, and this one cut on up the middle, takes an awkward bounce off of the second base. But here, Miller going to get to it in shallow center and just jog this one back in and give the easy throw off to Harvey. So first runner is on with nobody out. Harvey now facing 12 batters. This is going to be her 13th in the form of Spiegel. 0 for 1 on the day, but I believe reached on an error. This one grounded over to Harvey. Harvey with the quick throw off to first, and it will move number 4 up to second, so runner in scoring position, but there's your first out here in the top of the third inning. 3-0 your score, Potomac School leading. Again, back-to-back state runner-ups in the state of Virginia. And this next pitch going to catch a little up high, and that'll be your strike 1. 1 away here, runner in scoring position over there at second. That's number 4. Vaughn 1 for 1. Now your batter. Righty-lefty matchup here. That's going to be strike 2 in there as well. But yeah, Vaughn was the one to get the 2-run inside the park home run that just got past Thornton. And though it technically didn't count as a home run, here a grounder off to short. And a good throw on from Emerson Miller across the diamond, and Anderson will take it in, and there's out number 2 on a grounder. Runner will once again move up 60 feet. Number 4 off to third. But 2 away now, and we know Harvey can work out of this kind of situation. Next batter up is Shedler, and that one once again in there for strike 1. Beauty of a pitch that time from Harvey, now up to 45 on the afternoon. Next offering here, this one's going to get down low, get past Gentili, and the run will easily score off from third. On the wild pitch, Gentili unable to keep it out in front of her, and so with that, 1 more run added onto the board. 4-0. The Panthers extend their lead out. Harvey just needs to focus. Now no runners on. This one's skied up into center field. This could get over the head of Miller, trying for the diving play, but now has to bolt off to center field, as this one could be an inside the Parker as well. But the head coach over there at third, was thinking about holding her, but just let her go off instead. And so another inside the Parker. This time it's going to be for number 1, Shedler. And that extends the lead off to 5 for the Panthers. Here in the top of the third, Shaker Heights needing their offense to get going, but right now you want to keep the score where it is. Luckily on the home run, it's only going to be ruled, or it's only going to be 1 run coming onto the board. And that one, of course, is actually ruled as a home run, unlike the other one earlier on. The reason being is because that one, Miller just didn't exactly have a chance at getting out there in center field. You could see her make the diving try for it over the head. But unfortunately, it fell back to the turf. Rolled all the way into the 310-footer center field. And this one lined in fair off into right field. Milgram bolting to it over in deep right field, bringing it back into Anderson. And it's going to be Mayhorfer in there at second, content with the 2-out double. Mayerhofer over there at second. Once again, a runner in scoring position for the Panthers. Number 9 going to dig in. That's Claire, who's already 1 for 1 on the afternoon. Runs scored as well on that 1 hit. 1 of the 5. Shaker Heights down 5-0 to the Panthers. Keep in mind, 2 away. Looks like here issued as an HBP, hit by pitch. Off to Claire. Claire going to be taking first, and so now 2 runners on with Mayerhofer at second. Claire over at first. Burrell, who's 0 for 0 on the day, digs in. Well, why is she 0 for 0? The reason being is because she worked her way on with a walk. Here a swing and a miss from Burrell, and she will start off with an 0-1 count. Still 2 away, 5-0 your score. Panthers in the lead. Next pitch off from Harvey, taken inside. A little bit of a backup move that time from Burrell. Leaning to her back to try and get out of the way of that one. Harvey with the next dealing. This time it's up high. 2-1 goes your count as balls take the lead in it. 2 away. 2 on. Harvey now up to 54 pitches. And its 55th will be on its way. This one popped up, could be able to be played by Anderson, but Anderson instead takes a run into the near side fence. Luckily, all right. Sending it right back over to Harvey on the foul. Well, hey, we'll give the extra strike and even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Here's the pitch up high, taken, and the count goes full. It's going to be a payoff pitch coming up. And Burrell clearly knows how to work the counts. Worked her way on base with a walk last time. We'll see if it happens again. This time called! Strike 3 on an upstairs pitch. And the upstairs G is going to be ruled. And there you go. Good stuff that time from Scout Harvey once again, working her way and leaving a couple of players on the other side on base as runners. With that time, it's going to add 2 more to that total, but still Potomac now up by 5 with 6 hits and 2 Shaker Heights defensive errors. And we will see if Shaker Heights' offense can finally get rolling, except it's going to be the bottom of the lineup to try and do so. It's going to be James, Milgram, and Miller due up in that 7, 8, 9 spot. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 3rd. Skylar James in the 7-0 going to be getting the Shaker offense started here at the bottom of the 3rd inning. Shaker Heights looking for that first base knock up against this tough pitcher, number 12, Stolmer. And we'll see if James can be the one to get it going. Here's the first pitch. This one lined, and a one-hop play by the shortstop, throw on, and it's going to be just in time over at first. And so 1 pitch, 1 out goes Skylar James, and the 8-hole Marissa Milgram will be digging in the right-handed batter's box. Marissa Milgram out in right field today, got a little bit of time as a pitcher as well in yesterday's affair, taking the late innings. Even though it was only a 5-inning ball game after the mercy rule, Shaker Heights went down 15-0 against the Wisconsin squad of Laconia. Shaker Heights here looking to have a good run against one of the top-tier schools here. Swing and a miss from Marissa Milgram. And Shaker Heights, just as a school, has been able to prove that they can make big-time plays against some of the tougher schools that are known for being tough schools. This one taken upstairs for the strike. And that'll move it, I believe, to a 1-2 count with 1 away. Milgram will swing at this one, and it'll go over the head, just barely foul down the 3rd base line. And it looked like Coach Rosen didn't exactly agree with that one as it took the bounce over, but indeed that's what the umpire rules. Rosen still keeping the smile on as she gives the signal over to Marissa Milgram here on another 1-2 delivery from Stolmer, number 12. Here's the pitch. This time it's outside. But as I was saying, Shaker Heights we see it from, let's say, their men's basketball team who made their way into the regional final, one game away from the state semifinal. Here, a swing and a miss for Marissa Milgram, strikeout number 3 for Stallmer. But yeah, Shaker Heights had some big-time wins, especially their one win in the Sweet, or I suppose the Sweet 16 is what that round would have been of the state of Ohio. Here, a swing and a miss from Miller. Those games down in Akron at the Zips basketball stadium in Akron. Of course, home of basketball prodigy LeBron James. Here, a liner off to right, and this one going to be caught with the left-handed glove, and phenomenal defensive effort that time. Emerson Miller goes down on the lineout. So that should be out number 3. Eventually, the Potomac defense will make their way off as they make the realization, put 2 and 2 together. So with that, Shaker Heights still down 5, still through 3 innings, looking for that very first base knock, while Potomac has had 6 to their name and no defensive errors just yet from them as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. Looks like Harvey should be making her way back out there from the pitching standpoint. We'll be right back with you. Thanks for joining from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Harvey back out. Your starting pitcher today for the Shaker Heights Red Raiders. Shaker down by 5. Here's the next pitch down low and a little bit inside. It's going to start off at a 1-0 count. Shaker Heights looking for that very first hit on offense, but in the meantime, Harvey trying to keep the Potomac School Panthers off of the bases. Right now, Potomac has had at least 1 run in each of the innings. 2-1-2 went their runs in those first 3 innings. But here in the middle inning, a 2-1 count given off to Anderson. 0 for 1 on the day. This one fouled up. That one went over the netting and back. And that one rolling away. That one going to end up underneath a pineapple tree in Hawaii. It continues to roll away. Looks like Harvey's relative's going to get there in time and pick that one up, deliver it back. Here Gentili gives it off to Harvey. The new ball fouled off into the netting once again. This one taken outside. That'll move the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody away. A payoff pitch upcoming here for Anderson on pitch number 64 from Harvey. That one's going to be in there. Called strike 3. And boom goes the dynamite on strikeout number 3 for Shaker Heights. A big called strike 3. And that'll keep runners off the base for now. Next pitch, down low outside. And now here, this one also going to be outside for ball number 2. 2-0 your count from Harvey. Harvey already up to 66 pitches on the day, 44 hitting the zone, and this one a tapper back to the mound, and here the throw on, easy enough for Scout Harvey. Harvey, as we just mentioned, just hitting about 2/3 of the pitches in the strike zone. That's not at all a bad ratio. And now here with the next offering, this one a swing and a miss. Big time swing that time from Stallmer, number 12. Stallmer got a hit and an RBI in her last time up. Harvey trying to keep her off and have the very first 1, 2, 3 inning out here at the West Side grounds. Leaning forward. She'll get the pitch call. Now here it comes. This one down low. Tapper foul off to the left side. And now 2 strikes now here in the top half of the 4th inning. 2 away now. With Stallmer 1 for 1, as we said, on the day. Harvey now up to 69 pitches, the 70 mark pitch. Will be coming from the set. Here it comes, and that one called strike 3 once again. And she is catching some of these hitters off guard. A lot of called strike 3s. That one's strikeout number 4 for Harvey. 2 coming in the inning, and Shaker Heights keeps them at bay here in inning number 4. Shaker's offense, as we continue to say, needs to get cooking, however, and we'll see what they can do here. Got to get that first base knock here in inning number 4. We're halfway through this one here from the West Side grounds in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Pitcher back out there here for the Potomac School. Here's the throw down off to second to get us set as the first batter to be called here in inning number 4. Shaker Heights, first time through the order. Nobody has gotten on base just yet. They've gone 1, 2, 3 down in the first 3 innings, but now they're only down 5 to one of the better high school teams here in softball. If you want to still be in this one, you got to put bat to ball, and here Thornton will do just that and send it over to the right side. Shaker Heights right now, 3 strikeouts through the first time through the order. Nobody has walked. Last time against Wisconsin, they went down 8 strikeouts first time through the order. It was this batter, Harper Thornton, who drew a walk in her first time up. But for now, 0 for 1 here as she digs in on an 0-2 count. This one up high, ball 1, 1-2 goes your count. Scout Harvey right now, 48 strikes on 70 pitches, and she should be able to keep going through the first 4 innings, 21 batters faced. Not to inundate you with all these stats, but she's doing rather well in the strike to ball ratio, and here with the strike up high on the swing from Thornton, it's going to bring out number 1. So Thornton now actually going down on strikes back to back, and so that's 2 to her name. We'll see what Chevreau can do here. This one down low, ball 1 to Chevreau, 0 for 1 on the day. But yeah, again, not trying to overwhelm you with the Scout Harvey stats, but even in yesterday's game, she's done rather well. This one flown out into right, and that one looks like it'll get dropped down fair for Chevreau. Shaker Heights is going to get their very first hit here at the West Side Grounds in Myrtle Beach. And Chevreau going to be the very first base runner for the Red Raiders here. We'll see how Anderson can keep it up for the Red Raiders. Chevreau moves to 1 for 2 on the day as it found the gap out there in shallow right field just along the first baseline. And there you go here. This one low and away, Anderson takes. Stallmer still out there on the mound. 6 pitches now here in the inning. This one flown out in the left. The wind could help out, and indeed it will, as Chevreau going to bolt for third here. Anderson going to stick at second. A bit of a late jump there for Chevreau, but Chevreau going to head home, and Chevreau will score, bringing the lead down to 4. Chevreau celebrating a little too hard, fell on the rear after hitting home plate. But there you go. Shaker Heights amped up. They are in this game 100% as Anderson will get the single RBI double out here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. There you go. Shaker Heights on the board now here in the 4th inning. 1 away. Runner in scoring position for Eleanor Miller here. A swing and a miss from Miller. But you got to keep the momentum high, and the Shaker Heights dugout is feeling it now, as they should be. Even getting a run sometimes against these really, really tough schools can just be enough to build some sort of comeback. Here's Miller trying to send this one through, but unfortunately the shortstop right on the money. And here Anderson going to go for the score. And we'll see if the tag was applied, and indeed, but it looks like Anderson and the catcher a little banged up after the collision. Anderson getting up quicker, as it seems the catcher struggling a little more to hop up. She's in the right-handed batter's box, while in the left-handed batter's box still sits Reagan Anderson. Anderson now shaking off the turf bits on the legs. Anderson, all right, she'll head off to the dugout. On the other side, the catcher still down, but now standing tall with a little bit of help from the coach. So we're going to take a break regardless. That was out number 3 there at home, so we're going to step aside here as Shaker Heights did get on the board that time while holding Potomac to 0 in the 4th inning. So how about that? Shaker Heights winning their first inning out here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We're going to step aside as Shaker Heights will return out on defense. On the other side, the Potomac School Panthers will try to build back on a 4-run lead. So through 4 innings, Scout Harvey is cooking something different out there on the mound right now. Harvey threw over 70 pitches. She has been growing into this game more and more. She allowed 2 runs to come across in a couple different innings, but right now Harvey threw up a 0 there in inning number 4, and we'll see if she is able to keep it going, and hopefully Shaker's offense can build on that sort of momentum. Right now, Shaker Heights finds themselves down by 4, but we'll see if they can keep it that way with Harvey on the mound. Thanks for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. Will stick with it. Oh, thank you. Got a little windy out of nowhere. Thank you so much. Harvey, as we said, now up to 71 pitches. The 72nd will be sent foul into the netting. And through 72 pitches, I mean, 49 strikes, that is a solid ratio. If you do the math, that's what, 49 to 23 balls. They are swinging strike two. 1-2 goes your count. Kelly 0 for 1 on the day. And we'll see if she can get 0 for 2. And indeed, a tip off the bat, strike number 3. And there you go, Harvey now up to 5 strikeouts, actually beating Stallmer on the other side in that stat of strikeouts. How about that? Number 4 now digs in. Again, only know the first name, and it's Anna. 1 for 2 on the day. Anna going to take, tried to take that one inside. Backed up a little bit, but instead it's ruled a strike to the advantage of Harvey. 3/4 of the way to the century mark now with the pitch count. But Harvey has 100% worked her way further into this game. This one flown into right. That one's going to get down foul just to the right of the first base line. Milgram would have been unable to get there in time, but luckily she won't have to deal with any consequences. Shaker Heights here today dealing with a deeper center field. However, out to left and right, under 200 feet each. Out and left, 197 feet to that pole, 183 to the right field pole. But then all the way out there in straightaway center, Eleanor Miller has to deal with 310 feet being the difference. Here, James unable to handle it over there at second, unable to get the throw away as it was bobbled in front. And so the runner will move her way off to first. So with 1 away, it looks like that should be ruled as reaching on an error. So Anna, again, only the first name available for us, going to be reaching on the infield error from Skylar James. Here's the pitch, and going for second is Anna. And she will be in there safely with the leg first slide. Gentiliana able to make the throw, as once again it was bobbled just right out in front of the plate. And now here's the next offering here. Bunt opportunity. Will it be able to move? Oh, Chevreau with the throw. Anderson now will have to leap to keep the ball in front of her. But actually, Anna is going to move after the throw over to third. So both runners are going to reach their destination 60 feet up. And so Anna moves over to third, and it's going to be Spiegel, who was 0 for 2 on the day, now reaching at first. Runners at the corners, 1 away. Here's Harvey's next offering in there for strike number 1. Spiegel now moving up to second, no throw from Gentili. Again, perfect conditions out here under a perfectly blue, lovely sky out here in Myrtle Beach. This pitch upstairs, 1-1 goes your count. Shaker Heights not used to this weather too much back home. They did have a couple of days of 70. I remember the Shaker Heights baseball team was able to practice under those kinds of perfect conditions. This one grounded over to Emerson Miller. The throw on the money to Anderson. One run will score for the Panthers, and Spiegel will move all the way to third. 60 more feet forward. Runner at third now. 6-1 your score. Looks like here now time going to be called. Looks like we're going to get a visit to the mound. With the 6-1 score, Spiegel stands on third. It's going to be Shedler, 1 for 2 on the day. That was the inside the park home run hitter, making her way back to the plate. And we'll see how she's able to play this one, already up by 5. Chevreau and Armstrong giving the high fives off to Harvey. She will remain out there to the mound. But the Potomac Panthers still threatening. They are to 2 outs on offense here in the top of the 5th. Here, bunt try that time for number 1, Shedler. And I believe that should be ruled as strike 1 unless they say she put it back in time, and that, I guess, is going to be the call. There's ball 1. 1-0 goes your count. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This one, domes are up high. That'll hit off the back side of the helmet, so runners will be at the corners with 2 away. Harvey, definitely a position she'll be able to work out of, but it's a 5-run deficit to the advantage of the Virginia back-to-back-to-back-to-back state runner-up. The Potomac School Panthers. We'll see how Harvey is going to be able to play this one. Could imagine Shedler going to be bolting immediately from first to second. And indeed, here she will take off. That'll hit off the leg of Harvey. Get past Anderson. And here's Shedler going to move all the way from first to third there on the knock. Just a bit of an awkward hit that time. And that's just unlucky as it hit off the leg of Harvey. So now your score goes 7-1. The Panthers still in the lead. And now here the umpire telling head coach Tori Rosen, telling Rosen that they're going to skip over the Potomac School catcher in the batting order due to the fact that, remember, that catcher at the conclusion of the last half inning struggled to get up after a big collision with Anderson at home plate. It resulted in out number 3. Their strike number 1 called. Meyerhofer able to advance to second without a throw. Harvey now up to 87 pitches, 88 on its way. And this one fouled back into the netting behind home plate. Gentili hustling over here to come get it. The delivery back over. Looks like Shaker Heights baseball now joining on to cheer on the Shaker Heights softball squad. They're now back from their own practice here at the Ripken Experience. Here's a little liner over to right, but that one going to go foul over to the Red Raider dugout. 0-2 will remain your count, as now Harvey will have her 90th coming on the way here. 0-2 count, 2 away. Runners in scoring position at second and third. Next pitch to Burrell. There, a bit of a foul off. Once again, back behind home plate in here. Harvey in the top of the 5th trying to continue the momentum that she was able to work with before with runners in scoring position. She was able to get out of it. Here's the pitch. This one up high, taken for ball 1. We'll see how they decide to continue pitching Harvey specifically. Here a foul. Gentili trying to get it out in front of her, just out in front. You could see the effort by Gentili that time. Umpire delivering the mask back to her. You got to applaud the effort. Immediately tried to make that quick reaction, just out of the grasp. Count remains 1-2. Again, Burrell remains working these counts. This time it's popped up behind us over in the trees. Burrell 0 for 1 on the day. Here, a swing and a miss. She'll go 0 for 2 with a big-time strikeout from Scout Harvey, and that's going to conclude the top half of inning number 5. Big-time K that time for Harvey. That's going to be strikeout number 6 for Scout Harvey, and there you go. Shaker Heights will return on offense. They're down by 6 against the big-time Virginia squad, the Potomac School Varsity Panthers. Shaker Heights offense coming back out in just a moment. Shaker Heights' Juliana Gentili to get the first AB here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. By the way, I'd like to shout out assistant coach Andy Pohl's wife and kids that's been helping me out with the broadcast. It's been a little bit windy out here today, but shout out to Pohl's family for helping me out here today. The kids as well helping to get the softballs that end up foul out behind the plate over. I actually thought they were relatives of Scout, the way they were cheering her on so well. Here a liner, that can find the gap, and indeed it will for Juliana Gentili. And she'll be getting the leadoff knock here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. The catcher on, and that can always help you get a little bit of a comeback when you're down 6 late in the game. Harvey will be the next one up. Again, hopefully we'll get the continuous support of assistant coach Pohl's family. But yeah, Gentili moves to 1 for 2 on the day. That just found the gap out there in shallow right center. Neither the 2 middle infielders nor the center fielder able to come and grab it. They're a swing and a miss that time from Scout Harvey. So in the bottom of the 5th, runner on. It's Juliana Gentili at first. The catcher in today's game for Shaker Heights, but the pitcher out there here taking the swing and fouling this one back into the backstop. And it's going to go to an 0-2 count. Gentili now set to take the lead as this one released from the hand this time. A good take up high. Umpires called that a couple of times, but this time it's going to go for strike one on a, or excuse me, ball one on a 1-2 count. Nobody out here just yet. Gentili got Shaker Heights started on offense with a base hit single out to shallow right center. Harvey with a lot of pitches to her name so far. Stallmer dealing with less of a hefty pitch count, but still she remains out there in inning number 5. We'll see if Harvey will as well. 5th pitch of the AB here, down low. Good eye here from Scout Harvey, number 34 here today. As we said, number 17 in the red jerseys, number 34 in the black uniforms. And now here's 6th pitch of the AB. This one lined in the left center. That one's going to get down and roll its way all the way to the warning track. Here Gentili's going to round third, and she's going to be waved home. Harvey going into third, and she's going to round third and make her way forward. It's going to be a 2-run inside the park home run for the Shaker Heights Red Raiders. Big time line drive for Scout Harvey and the Shaker Heights team amped up as they get runs number 2 and 3 onto the board. (7-3) goes your score. The Potomac School still in the lead, but how about that? Hopefully Shaker Heights can continue to feed off of the momentum here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Shaker Heights is only down by 4, and with a big time hit like that, you can only wonder how Shaker Heights can continue to move forward in the scorers. In the box score, excuse me. This one fouled off back into the back, and again, Andy Pohl's kid bolting out here at the Ripken Experience to go grab the foul ball. And eventually that'll be delivered back to the dugout. 0-1 goes, or excuse me, 1-1 goes your count here to James. James pops this one up, foul off to the right side. That one, I believe, going to be caught by the Shaker Heights baseball team. Here's Skylar James, 0 for 1 on the day, but Shaker Heights, a lot of their, but now they're really starting to wake up here in a 7-3 ball game. Shaker Heights with their first 3 runs of the Myrtle Beach scrimmages. And now here Harvey pops this one up, this one to the catcher. Oh, she didn't see it in front of her, so now James going to bolt off to second. Oh, but now they're going to rule it as foul. Unfortunate. That one with an unlucky bounce right in front of home plate. That had bounced the other way. James would have been off to second on an error that time, and maybe it still will be a defensive error, but Regardless, Skylar James can hopefully keep it moving here on a 2-strike count. 1-2 offering. Here it comes. Here, a swing and a miss from Skylar James. She goes 0 for 2 now. Marissa Milgram going to be the next up. I believe she is as well. Yes, 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout in her 1AB. Stallmer remains out there on the mound, and here the pitch in there right down Main Street for strike number 1, taken by Marissa Milgram. Shaker Heights with 2 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. Back-to-back innings with runs scored for Shaker Heights, and well, that's an improvement again, especially against a top-tier school like this. Here a grounder over to third, the throw on the money, and back-to-back outs is exactly what Stallmer needed to get the confidence back. Here we're going to be seeing Emerson Miller, I believe was up a lot higher in the lineup in yesterday's game. Today, she's back in number 9. 0 for 1 on the day as well. Did not strike out. Here, Shaker Heights looking to get a 2-out rally going and work their way back up to the top of the order, though Harper Thornton, who was in that number 1 spot, has gone 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts to the name. Ooh, tough call. That one, I suppose, just barely caught the outside half. That one looked to be a little bit in the opposite batter's box, but indeed, he sees it better than anybody else here at the West Side grounds. Here, grounder over off to the left side. Coach Rosen getting out of the way of that one. Emerson Miller on now a 1-2 count. Miller 0 for 1, as we said, number 26 on the back end front of her jersey. Set to continue the incredible showing of offense that Shaker has had over these past couple of innings. This one fouled up into the netting. It'll drop back down into foul territory, but regardless, that one ruled as a dead ball. And we'll do it again at 1-2 with 2 outs. Shaker Heights down in this one, 7-3 your score between the Panthers and the Red Raiders. Again, the Potomac School Panthers, the squad that has been the runner-up of the Division I championship. Here a liner and to right center from Emerson Miller. That's going to get past the center fielder. She'll be bolting off to second, and now rounding second, she'll go to third. She'll be going all the way. Rounding third, she'll make it easily. A stand-up inside the park home run once again for Shaker Heights. And that draws them once again a little bit closer. It's now a 7-4 ball game. Harper Thornton now back to the top of the order. She's 0 for 2, but again, right now that's not meaning much as Shaker Heights continues to get some good base knocks. Here Harper Thornton digs into the right-handed batter's box, number 40. And here she'll take the swing and miss to begin her count. But Shaker Heights right now has a lot more of an energy out there in the right-hand dugout. Hopefully Thornton can channel some of that and here take the ball. The strike on the outside half, and Thornton hoping to not go out of this one with strike 3. But we will see. 0-2 goes your count, and here's the pitch. This one fouled back. Thornton staying alive for now. Chevreau would be on deck, and I believe Chevreau, yes, indeed, has gone 1 for 2 with a run here today. But yeah, again, Thornton needing to get something going. She's been in the top of the lineup consistently over these past 2 scrimmages, including today, here in Myrtle Beach. Here's the next knock, the next pitch. This one down low, taking for ball 1. That's good to see from Thornton, not getting too over-aggressive in a 2-strike count, especially after fouling one off. Here's the next pitch, and that time it will be a swing and a miss. That one a good one to swing at. But Shaker Heights here in inning number 5 draws a little bit closer once again as they put 3 up on the board, and that's back-to-back innings won by the Red Raiders. As they won the 4th inning 1-0, they win the 5th inning 3-2, but they are still down by 3. It's a 7-4 ball game, but Shaker Heights beginning to swing it a lot better, and we'll see. I believe Scout Harvey should be returning to the mound for the Red Raiders. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum here with the play-by-play. We'll be back for the second to last inning number 6 at the West Side Grounds in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Scout Harvey, after that last pitch, bit of a shake of the right arm or throwing arm. Hopefully everything will be all right. But again, Scout Harvey, I believe, pitching all 3 games out here in Shaker Heights. Of course, they're missing a couple of their other players that aren't on the Myrtle Beach trip. And so Harvey, really the go-to pitcher out here in Myrtle. And you can continue to see that right now she continues to shake that right arm as she's now up to 95 pitches on the afternoon. 5 o'clock Eastern time. Here a grounder over to second, and that throw, just tipped off of the top of Anderson's glove. Anderson shaking that. She knew that she more than likely should have had that one, and Anderson for Potomac will be able to reach base off of the Anderson of Shaker Heights' unfortunate fielding error. So there we go. First runner on this time for the Red Raiders. Indeed, they're going to rule it as error number 4 on the defense of Shaker Heights. Here, a tapper, Gentili, going to be able to make the throw on the first. They rule it safe, and say James was off the bag, as apparently she just hopped off of it. I do not believe, and some of the infielders agree, that was close as could be, and so Wolf will move up to first as Anderson makes the advancement over to second. Harvey now up to 97 pitches. Hopefully not getting too fatigued, but I mean, how could you not be, especially with the harsh windup that softball holds. But right now, this one misses, low and in. Stallmer, 1 for 2 on the day for Potomac. Here's the next pitch to her. This one up high, and once again, this time it's going to be a strike ruled by the umpire. Again, a little bit of a late call that time. So if you can't hear him saying strike, you just have to look at the motion. And of course, with the commentary headset on, you just got to watch for the motion. This time a swing and a miss from Stallmer. There's strike 2. Still nobody out here in the top half of inning number 6. Scout Harvey getting set with here, pitch 101. This time a grounder over to Miller. Miller going to send it over to first. It'll move 2 runners into scoring position, but there's your first out, and Shaker Heights needed at that time. And again, 101 pitches now for Scout Harvey, and Harvey threw 100 at least. Or now through 101, has had 70 hit the strike zone. Harvey this time going to send this one on the inside part of the plate. The batter thought it was a little bit low as well, but it's called for strike 1. Kelly 0 for 2 on the day. Here's the next delivery and showing bunt, but here going to be strike 2, as the umpire said she kept the bat in front as that one crossed the plate too. So there you go, strike 2, 0-2 goes the count. We'll see if Harvey can work out of this one. Here a swing, and this is going to be a tapper over to the shortstop. Miller with the throw on to Anderson, and there you go, out number 2, but a run will come across. It's now 8-4, Potomac in the lead. The Panthers still have another runner over at third, and that's in the form of Wolf. Scout Harvey with 104 pitches, 105 on its way, and this time it's upstairs for ball one. Anna, again, that one player for the Panthers that we do not have the last name for, Anna number 4, has gone 1 for 3 on the day, and here she'll take the swing at it. This one handled, oh, she'll miss it. James with the fielding error, unable to track it into the glove, and with that, fielding error number 5 for Shaker Heights, and run number 9 comes across. That one, an easily avoidable one that James just did let slip by. Maybe just a little bit of the pressure of the moment, and here, head coach Rosen decides she wants a mound visit, and indeed she'll stick with Harvey out there because, again, she's really just one of the only starting pitchers out there for the Red Raiders, and so we'll see if she's going to continue to throw it like she has earlier on. Harvey clearly tense in that right arm. And here with pitch 107 on its way, this one grounded over to Anderson. Anderson with the flip on the second. They'll get the force for out number 3. But there we go, 2 runs coming across for the Potomac School Panthers, and we will see if Shaker Heights will be able to bounce back. They're down 5 with 6 more outs to work with. Shaker Heights down 9-4 as we get set for the bottom of the 6th. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call from the Ripken Experience in Myrtle Beach. Scout Harvey, as we said, up past number 100 on the pitches, to be exact, 107 through 34 batters faced. And so now Shaker Heights will come up to bat, while Stallmer, who's been doing all right, number 12 in white, back on the mound for the Panthers, and we'll see if she's going to be able to keep things going. However, that being said, over the past couple of innings, fatigue has begun to set in, with 1 run coming in the 4th and 3 coming in the 5th. Shaker Heights needing the bats to continue to clutch up here late in the game, especially as Scout Harvey is beginning to fatigue on her own end. Chevreau, the batter. I believe it's an 0-1 count here. Here's the pitch. This one a tapper, and that could get through. It'll go off the glove of the shortstop. Chevreau rounding first, but will stay content with the single, as that one just found the gap there in left. And with that, Anderson will follow it up and make her way into the left-handed batter's box. And now here, Anderson with a tapper over to the left side. That's going to end up foul along the third base line. Stallmer still out there on the mound, the pitcher wanting to see if she as well can remain in. And keep in mind, the Panthers are in their second game of a doubleheader. And so Potomac maybe for them, this is the only pitcher that they have remaining. Of course, we don't have a scouting report on this high school squad. Here's Chevreau taking the lead as this one's released. Anderson with a swing and a miss. That moves the count to 1-2. Chevreau remaining content over there at first. Getting set to take that lead once again. Here's the next offering. Anderson takes this one right down the pipe. That one going to be strike 3 called. And Eleanor Miller will be next. Miller 0 for 2 on the day. That's one of the hitters that you need to see get going right now here in the late clutch moments. 1 out, 1 runner on, and it's Amelia Chevreau off of first here. A swing and a miss here from Eleanor Miller. And that begins the at-bat at an 0-1 count. 9-4, the Potomac School Panthers leading. Again, a school from out just 3 miles away from Washington, D.C. Here's the pitch up high. The Potomac School, one of those independent schools, a college prep school out there in Virginia. And the state runner-up in the Division I softball tournament for the past 4 years. Here, a swing. This one's popped up. Should remain in the infield. Bit of the sun in the eyes of the second baseman, but able to handle it. And Miller with another out, 0 for 3 on the day. And Juliana Gentili will be up next. She had a big-time knock and came around to score her last time up. Hopefully she's able to go now 2 for 3, but we'll see. Here's another pitch. That one in there for strike 1. Gentili took it. So 2 away. Chevreau still over there at first. She got the lead off runner on, that runner being herself. Now here, this one up high, and that time a good take by Gentili. Gentili doing well out there from the catching standpoint on defense. She just needs to continue the offensive work as she did in the last AB. 9-4, they're down by 5. You need something here as you're down to your final 4 outs. That one in there for strike 2. 1-2 goes your count. Stallmer having a good showing here in what could be her last inning, unless it'll be her second to last. Here, another pitch. This one fouled off into the netting behind home plate. She'll stay alive at a 1-2 count with 2 away. Chevreau doing well so far. She's, again, that runner over there at first. She's 2 for 3 on the day. She came around to score in her last time out on the bases, so hopefully she's looking to go 2 for 2 in that regard. Here's the next pitch. Gentili stays alive with another foul away. Moves into the backstop. Gentili taking a little bit of a practice half swing over there in the right-handed batter's box. It's a righty-righty matchup, so it's to the advantage a little bit of the pitcher. Well, we'll see as Chevreau gets set to take the lead off of first. Here's the strike 3 swinging from Gentili. Another high strike that the Red Raiders are going to take the swing at, and still the struggle for the Red Raiders is that top cheese from the opponent pitching. And so with that, runner left on, leadoff runner came on in the form of Amelia Chevreau, however, not able to advance any further. And Shaker Heights will return out to the field in the final inning number 7. Shaker down 5. It's 9-4. The Panthers on top. Scout Harvey now back in, sending a pitch down low, good eye. From the batter number 15 of the Panthers, Shaker Heights out there with, I believe, a different defensive makeup here. This one fouled away off to the open bullpen in left, and indeed for Shaker Heights, actually now out there at second, I believe, is Mia Yost, the freshman, getting a rep over there at second for the final inning of defense. Here's the next pitch. This one in there for strike two. That moves the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out as we're just getting started. Vaughn, the one that got in 2 RBIs, got that very first home run in the ballpark. Here's Chevreau with a little bit of an up-high throw, but it'll work out as the over-the-head catch is made by Anderson over there at first. So Chevreau, definitely the person that they have to remain starting over there at third. She's one of the fielders that don't throw one of those rainbow kinds of throws, especially over there at third. If you're making those defensive plays, this pitch outside for ball 1 on the new batter. But over there at third, you have to throw, and you have to throw one on the money in time and down low. You have to make sure that your throw is hard so that it is able to beat the runner. But again, your throw has to be across the diamond, so it's got to be one of those hard kinds of throws. And Chevreau has proven here now, ball number 3 on Shedler. Chevreau has proven herself over there at third, and she's more than likely, especially with how she's been batting it today, going 2 for 3. She's going to be probably the MVP of this one. So here, it's going to be Shedler walking over to first. 1 away here, but a runner on. Harvey now up to 115 pitches, 116 going to catch for strike 1 on the new batter. Shedler over there at first. She's the one that got one of the in the ballpark home runs. Here the next pitch from Harvey, going to get over to Yost. Yost unable to handle it either, and so both second basemen now in back-to-back innings with defensive errors in that spot. And so with that, 2 runners go on in the form of Shedler at second and Mayerhofer over at first. 1 away still for Scout Harvey, who's now up to 120 pitches. Here, oof, the throw goes past third, and here it's going to be Shedler moving her way all the way home on the poor throw. And so Chevreau didn't see it coming either. A bit of a late jump from both runners. Had the throw been on target, might have been able to get him, but again, just off target, and run number 10 comes across for the Panthers. So in the new AB, Harvey now over 120 pitches. Or I believe actually that was pitch 119, so actually this is going to be 120. And this one fouled up into the netting. It'll drop back down. Anderson going to get it. 10-4, the Panthers in the lead. 2 strikes here to Claire. It's Mayerhofer off of second here. She's in scoring position. The RBI opportunity, however, won't work out for Claire as strike 3 called once again. Scout Harvey with another big-time K. It's going to be strikeout number 7 for Scout Harvey. And so hopefully she can work her way out of this one with only 1 run across. There's strike 1 called on Burrell, 0 for 2 on the day. But she also walked with those 2 strikeouts. Next pitch comes to her, swing and a miss once again. And actually, this is not Burrell anymore. This one's number 8, Anderson. And I believe that's just due to the fact that we continue to have to skip the catcher in batting. So yeah, Anderson actually out there just in front of Burrell. Burrell was the last one who I believe struck out. Anderson, who's 0 for 1 on the day. Here, strike out once again from Scout Harvey. More than likely her last time out on defense, especially here in a scrimmage. We don't go past the regulation point. So Shaker Heights with one last opportunity to make up 6 runs. They're down 10-4. They've only had 6 hits compared to Potomac's 9. It's mainly been an issue of the defensive errors, but coming in to this last inning, defensive errors obviously not going to be the area of concern for Shaker. It's the fact that their offense needs to get cooking because now it's crunch time. 3 more outs to work with for the Shaker offense. We'll see what they can get done. Thanks for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum here from Myrtle Beach. Shaker Heights here down by 6 in a game in which their offense has been brewing a little more and more here in the late stages of the ball game. However, in that last inning, they were cut down to 0 runs, while Potomac has been able to score in every inning except for inning number 4. Shaker Heights needing to make up for 6 runs here. This one popped up into the foul netting behind home plate. So here, Scout Harvey, last time up for her, she was able to hit a base knock out into, I believe it was center, or maybe it was right center field, and in doing so, rounded the bases and made her way all the way home for the inside the Parker, and that helped Shaker out a lot. That's half of their runs right there. And yes, Scout Harvey, number 34, pitching here today. Hopefully not too fatigued here. And here the next offering. This one sent up the middle. That one's going to get through. Big time hit for Harvey, and you never know. Shaker Heights maybe can get something going on the board in these late stages. They have 6 runs to make up, but you got to take it step by step. And here comes Mia Yost, the freshman, getting her first crack at things. On the first pitch to her, taken for strike 1. Yost in for Skylar James. The second baseman switched over to Mia Yost there in that last half inning. She also did have the defensive error here. Harvey needing to dive back in, and she'll dive back in safely over at first. And here Yost set for the next offering. I believe it's an 0-2, and here the swing and the miss. And there's strike 3 called, and that'll bring the freshman off to the bench. There's out number 1. Pitcher out there for Potomac once again is going to be Stallmer, and she has been dominant out there. Here with Yost's strikeout, it's going to be 1 on, 1 out. And here it's going to be Marissa Milgram back in at the 8-hole set to take the AB in the right-handed batter's box. So, yeah, it was Scout Harvey and Emerson Miller to get 2 inside the Parkers here today. There another missed bunt from Milgram moves it to a 2-strike count. 1 away, 1 runner on in the form of Scout Harvey. Oof, excuse me. Harvey set to take the lead here from first, and here bolting off, and it looks like the tag will be applied on the strikeout. It was out number 2 and out number 3. It'll go as a double play for the Potomac Panthers to conclude the ball game. So Shaker Heights here with a big time inning number 5, but just unable to get it done. And it mainly comes from the defensive errors. They actually were pretty even in the name of hits. Shaker Heights with 7, the Panthers with 9. Are you able to help me out again over here? Sorry, thank you. Thank you so much. I'll be quick. Thank you. So out here today, a phenomenal showing from Shaker Heights. As you can see, they have been growing into these games. Shaker Heights started off slow, but more and more innings brought more and more hits, and they ended up with 7 in the late stages of the game. We saw some late hits there, big-time hits from Scout Harvey, Emerson Miller as well, with an inside the Parker. But you got to give today, you got to give an MVP off to Amelia Chevreau, who had some big-time defensive plays out there over at third. Some big-time ground-out plays on defense, but also went 2 for 3 on the day. So you got to give the MVP over to her. And on the other side, for the Potomac Panthers, you got to give it to the winning pitcher over there. That was Stallmer, who went the length all 7 innings. So complete games from both sides. And again, Scout Harvey is going to be the name of the game for Shaker Heights moving on into the regular season. But for me, this is going to be it, calling the softball games here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We'll be back with the baseball coverage tomorrow at, I believe, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Please be sure to tune into that one. We will continue to try to cover softball throughout the regular season, but again, baseball tomorrow afternoon. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call here from Myrtle Beach. We'll see you tomorrow. The Potomac Panthers win this one 10-4 against the Shaker Heights softball squad.